Hello, everyone. I am recording this early before I go on my trip. So I wanted to make sure there was a message for you guys while I'm gone. And I also realized that I'm actually going to be gone 2 Thursdays because I leave out Thursday and I don't come back until the 14th. So I'm really going to miss you guys. But what I'll do is record 2 of these. So there's 2 messages for you. I wanted to talk a little bit about our conversation on how do I maintain my recovery while with family of origin and maybe long-term friends during the holiday season. One thing that's coming up for me in my sessions with you guys are noticing the extent that we go to try to control or determine how someone receives something I'm saying or doing. There's lots of different ways I can illustrate this, but one of the things that comes to mind first is the phrase walking on eggshells. When I'm trying to do or say or be something so that it's received in a certain way, that's my codependency. When I think I have some type of control or power and how someone receives something is my attempt to control the situation. It's because there's something inside of me that feels unsafe, or there's something inside of me that says I can't keep myself safe while I share this feeling. Excuse me. And I need to control the other person's feelings or emotions. Well, insert ha 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 here, because I don't get to control other people's feelings or emotions. And when I'm walking on eggshells, it's usually because there's already something in the system that's creating discomfort for me. So, for example, in my backstory, we could be playing and dad comes home and we all get really quiet. Well, what that meant and the reason that we did that is not because my dad was a big bear and he was an authoritarian. It may have looked that way and it felt that way at times, but what was actually happening is my dad would go into sensory overload, and he had 4 kids, and he was also an untreated, a person in untreated addiction. So we knew that if we were too loud, too much, too anything, that we would get in trouble. So his need for silence became controlling over our behaviors. And sometimes the same thing happens with things like rage. When one person in the system uses rage as a number or a medicator, the system uses rage. The system explodes. When one person is mad, everyone's then mad. Or when one person's having a bad day, well, now everyone's having a bad day. And that can be really confusing. And I know for me, it's that saying I use a lot, can't see the forest for the trees. Because first of all, why am I in a bad mood? What happened to me? I don't know. But somebody in my system's in a bad mood, and therefore I need to be in a bad mood. No, that's not how that works. That's called enmeshment. And it takes away my autonomy. It takes away my power and authority over my own world. And I'm adopting what's happening for someone else, that experience, that feeling, that emotion, because I think it's easier that way to share it with them. And sometimes if I don't do that, then that person's anger or rage is projected onto me, and then I'm angry and rageful. So the enmeshment, I just decide unconsciously, well, I'm just going to be mad too because he's had a bad day. So it's just easier if I have a bad day, rather than recognizing I'm not responsible for my loved one's feelings. I don't have that kind of power. And if I am, it's because I'm in my dysfunction and so are they. And being able to look at when someone comes in and says, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so happy?" Well, one way I could respond to that is, "Damn, I can't even be happy. Damned if I do, damned if I don't." Or I could say, "Wow, I'm in a really good mood and I'm feeling judged." I'm going to reflect back the behavior that I'm receiving or the message that I'm receiving. I'm going to take ownership for, yeah, I'm in a good mood and that's okay. Or I could also be having a really hard day and it has nothing to do with my family system. And I come home and someone says, "Why are you so grouchy? What's your problem?" Well, I could say something not very nice, which is the red, by the way. Or my response to that could be, you're right. I am having a really bad day and it doesn't have anything to do with you. I just need a little bit of time to get myself back together. Now, those words are not easy to come up with in the heat of the moment. And what we know and what I notice is feelings can sometimes create discomfort for other people. And what I know about that is when I feel unsafe or when I don't know how to make myself feel safer, when I don't know how to take care of myself, when I don't trust that I can keep myself safe, that's when I try to control my outside world. That's when I'll say, "What's your problem? Why are you so grouchy today?" I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to fix it. Or I join it because I figure I'd rather join it because they're going to project it onto me, or I better join it because then I can fix it and I can be in it with them. So, emotions and feelings can be really dysregulating, especially if it was not permission or the space that we were given to take up as kids. So, in our family systems today, if I am uncomfortable because someone I love is in a feeling or an emotion or stuck in grief, I can own that. I can say that out loud to the person. I can say, "I really experience you as struggling right now. And I'm trying not to struggle with you because I know it's your feeling. And this is the big one. I just want to let you have your feelings." Now, I am saying that for my loved one, but I'm more saying that for me. It's my boundary with me and me that I'm in my own hula hoop, and the person I love has a right to have those feelings. And I'm not responsible for them, and I can't control them, and I can't cure them, but I can love them. I can love them through the sadness. I can love them through the anger. I can also love them through the distance. Because when I'm angry and when I'm pissed, I need to remove myself from stimuli in order to get back on track. And that's not because my husband's doing anything wrong. It's because that's what I need to reconnect with me. So through the holiday season, when you're looking at how one person in a system can impact the whole system, just the permission and the opportunity to recognize that you don't have you don't have to step into that hula hoop with them. And you also don't have to let someone step in your hula hoop. If you haven't you heard that term before, it's my emotional space. It's my electromagnetic field, if you will. And what makes us connect is healthy detachment, in that I'm going to take care of me and then I'm going to come back and connect with you, versus enmeshment, which means there is no separate space. I am you, you are me. And it feels really unsafe most of the time. So, being able to allow me to take up space to have my feelings and allow you to take up space and have your feelings and love you regardless is healthy detachment and healthy connection. And it's okay if other family members don't see it that way. And it's okay if while you're practicing this, it doesn't feel good at first, because healthy detachment and healthy connection may not be what my body is perceiving as healthy. And that's something I still have to learn. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. The tool that I want to offer you with this is responsible to versus responsible for. What am I responsible to my husband for? I am responsible to our commitment. I am responsible to my marriage. And I am not responsible for his feelings. And he is not responsible for my feelings. So when I look at what am I responsible to versus what am I responsible for, it helps me to stay in my lane. It helps me to stay in my hula hoop. And I know that my recovery is driving the bus rather than my reactivity or my pathology. And if you're in a space where you're still trying to figure out what all that means, or you're in a space where it still feels like everything outside of you controls how you feel, it's okay. You're right where you're supposed to be. It's going to happen. You will absorb it, and it will make sense. But today, watch this again if you need to hear it again. And tune in next week as I'll continue this theme on. I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. Happy holidays.